partner cheated but still calls me their soulmate. It was Tuesday morning. I was scrambling eggs, humming along to the radio when my husband stumbled into the kitchen. His tie was crooked, stubble shadowing his jaw, eyes avoiding mine. He kissed my forehead, a habit he'd kept for 9 years, and muttered, "Gotta run. Deadline at work." The front door slammed before I could say, "Love you." I didn't think much of it. Not at first. There'd been other Tuesdays, late nights, sudden business trips, his phone face down on the nightstand. He's just stressed, I'd told myself. The promotion's eating him alive. But that morning his cologne smelled wrong, sharper. And under it something floral, a perfume I didn't own. 3 nights later, he fell asleep on the couch. I crept downstairs to drape a blanket over him. His phone buzzed on the coffee table. A text lit up the screen. "Can't stop thinking about last night. You're everything." My hands went cold. For 10 minutes, I stood there, paralyzed before picking it up. His password, our anniversary, unlocked a gallery of sins. Photos of her, texts time-stamped during his overtime, hotel charges, I miss yous, sandwiched between "good night, soulmates" to me. Her name was Mia. She worked in his office. 26, all dimpled smiles and beach waves. In one photo, she wore his old college sweatshirt, the one I'd nagged him for years to throw out. I waited until dawn to confront him. Sat rigid at the kitchen table, his phone between us, as he walked in yawning. His face crumpled the moment he saw it. No denials, no anger, just a whisper. "I'm so sorry." He cried, apologized 100 times, said it meant nothing, that he'd ended it weeks ago. The texts are old, I swear. That I was his soulmate, his forever. That he'd gotten lost and was trying to find his way back. I laughed. A jagged, ugly sound. "Soulmates don't do this," I said. My voice didn't sound like mine. Now I'm adrift. He's sleeping in the guest room, pleading for therapy, leaving coffee on my desk like guilt offerings. I swing between rage and despair. Some days I'm ice, drafting separation papers, deleting our photos. Others I curl in our bed, clutching his pillow, wondering if I'll ever feel whole again. The worst part? Part of me still loves him. When he looks at me with those shattered eyes, part of me believes him. Is that Stockholm Syndrome? Stupidity? Or is soulmate just another word for habit? Last night he texted, "I'll wait as long as it takes. You're my person." I threw my phone across the room. Then I fished it out of the laundry basket and reread the message 14 times. TLDR, husband insists I'm his soulmate after cheating. Now I'm torn between walking away and clinging to a decade of love. Caught my partner lying about their secret affair. I'm standing in the kitchen chopping vegetables for dinner when his phone buzzes on the counter. Again. For the third time in 10 minutes. I glance at it, not meaning to pry, but the notification lights up the screen. "Miss you already." His phone is always face down now. The red flag started small. 2 months ago, Mark began working late nights. Crunch time at the office, he'd say, shrugging off his tie when he stumbled in after 10 p.m. His cologne, a woodsy scent I bought him for our anniversary, lingered too perfectly, like he'd just sprayed it in the car. I tried to ignore the pit in my stomach. He's just tired, I told myself. We've been together 8 years. He wouldn't. Then came the distance. His hugs felt stiff. His laughter at my jokes rehearsed. Last week, I wore the black lingerie he'd always loved. He kissed my forehead and rolled over to sleep. Tonight, I broke my own rule. After dinner, he left his phone charging in the living room while he showered. I told myself I was just tidying up, but my hands shook as I tapped the screen. The passcode, our wedding date, still worked. The texts were buried in a thread labeled Mom. His mother passed away 3 years ago. Her. Can't stop thinking about last night. Him. Same. It's getting harder to hide this. Her. What if she finds out? Him. She won't. I'll handle it. Scrolling felt like falling. Hotel reservations, selfies of them smiling in a dim bar. a photo of her wearing his hoodie. When he walked into the room, towel around his waist, I was still clutching the phone. The air smelled like citrus body wash and betrayal. "Who is she?" My voice cracked. He turned pale. "It's not what you— Don't." My vision blurred. "How long?" A pause. 6 months. The confession hit like a shove. 6 months of work trips, 6 months of lies. I stared at the knife still on the cutting board, wondering how something so ordinary could suddenly feel dangerous. "I'll end it," he said, reaching for me. "I love you. We can fix this." I stepped back. His hands, the ones that held mine at our vows, had touched her. His lips, the ones that whispered forever, had lied to my face. Now I'm on my best friend's couch, wearing yesterday's clothes. My ribs ache like my heart is literally breaking. I keep replaying memories, our first dance, the way he cried when our daughter was born, and wondering when they stopped mattering to him. He's blown up my phone. "Please talk to me. I made a mistake. Think of the kids." "Our daughter starts kindergarten next week. She drew a family portrait yesterday, 4 stick figures holding hands under a crayon sun. What do I tell her?" Mark says he'll go to counseling, swears it meant nothing. But all I see when I close my eyes is that text, "Miss you already." TLDR, found out my husband of 8 years has been having an affair for 6 months. He wants to fix things, but I don't know if our family can survive this. Found my partner's secret texts to my best friend. It was a Sunday morning, the kind of quiet, golden hour start where sunlight spilled over the kitchen counter and the coffee maker gurgled like it was gossiping with itself. Ethan was still in bed. His late nights at the office had been piling up for weeks, while I padded around in socks, feeding our cat Whiskers. My phone buzzed with a meme from Lydia, my best friend since college. A cartoon of 2 wine glasses, clinking, with the caption, "Surviving Mondays." I smirked and typed back. "Pre-gaming for the week? Missing you. Let's finally do dinner." She'd canceled 3 times last month. "Work chaos," she'd said. I didn't think much of Ethan's phone sitting face down on the couch, charging. Not until Whiskers knocked it to the floor, the screen lighting up with a notification. One new message from Lids. My stomach dropped. Lids? Since when did he call her that? I picked up the phone. My thumb hovered. This was crossing a line. But then I remembered the way Ethan had flinched last week when I'd hugged him from behind, how he'd started showering as soon as he got home, scrubbing off scents I couldn't place. My hands shook as I typed his passcode, our anniversary. The messages loaded. "Lydia. Can't stop thinking about last night. You were right, it's getting harder to pretend. Ethan. I know. This isn't fair to either of us. We need to tell her. Lydia. Not yet. She'll hate me. I can't lose her. Ethan. You won't. We'll figure it out. Same spot tomorrow?" The room tilted. Coffee burned in my throat. Last night. He'd claimed he was helping Dave move furniture. My ribs caved in, air thinning. I scrolled up, weeks of flirting, planning meetups, references to a hotel near his office. "I hate lying to her," Lydia had written once. "But when I'm with you, it's like I can't stop." Whiskers nuzzled my leg, purring. I sank to the floor, phone slipping from my grip. How long? They'd gone camping together last fall, girls' weekend. Lydia had called it, but Ethan had been out of town too. I joked about them bonding over hating cilantro. Had they laughed at me then? I don't remember packing the duffel bag, just shoving in clothes, my toothbrush, the frame photo of Mom. Ethan appeared in the doorway, hair mussed, squinting. "Jenna, what's—" He froze, spotting his phone in my hand. "Don't," I whispered. The hurt in my voice startled even me. "It's not what you think," he said too quickly. I laughed, sharp and broken. "So you weren't at the Hilton with Lydia yesterday? You're not in love with her?" He paled. "Let me explain." But I was already in the car, keys jamming into the ignition. My hands wouldn't stop trembling. I drove aimlessly past our favorite bookstore, the park where he'd proposed, Lydia's apartment complex. I pulled over, gripping the steering wheel until my knuckles ached. My phone lit up. "Lydia, I'm calling." I silenced it. Rain began to patter the windshield, blurring the world into streaks of gray. Who do you trust when your heart's been split in two by the people who were supposed to protect it?
I was humming along to our first dance song while smoothing wrinkles out of the crisp white fabric. His phone buzzed on the dresser, lighting up with a notification. Sarah, can't wait for tonight. I stared at the screen, my fingers hovering. We'd agreed to no secrets. He'd handed me his passcode months ago, joking, in case I die and you need to delete my browser history, but this felt different. My gut twisted as I typed in 0815, our anniversary. The
messages spanned weeks. Flirtatious jokes, late-night selfies, plans to meet at the hotel downtown, our wedding venue. My hands shook so hard I dropped the phone. The steam iron hissed, burning a caramel brown streak into his sleeve. The red flags had been there. Little things. Micah staying late at work more often. His sudden gym obsession, despite hating treadmills. The way he'd flinch when I touched his phone. But I brushed it off. Wedding stress, I told myself. Cold feet. Last week, he'd snapped at me for asking about the bachelorette party favors. "Why do you always nag?" he'd said, his voice sharp as broken glass. I'd cried in the bathroom, mascara streaking the collar of my robe, the one he'd bought me for Valentine's Day. Now, scrolling through their conversations, every emoji felt like a knife. "Babe, we need to talk about the..." He froze when he saw his phone in my hand. "Who's Sarah?" My voice didn't sound like mine. "A coworker. It's not what you think," but his face, pale panic, told me everything. I read aloud, voice cracking. "Next Friday's the big day. Wish it was you in that dress instead. It's just flirting," he pleaded. "It didn't mean anything. I love you." I recoiled when he reached for me. His cologne, the one I'd picked out, smelled corrosive. ... The next hours blurred. I drove to my sister's, sobbing so hard I missed 2 exits. She held me while I screamed into her couch cushions. Our parents had paid the venue deposit. My dress hung in the closet, lace sleeves like spider webs. I'd chosen it because Micah said I looked angelic. He blew up my phone. "Please let me explain. I'll end it. We can fix this." But then, a text from Sarah. "He's been lying to you about the timeline." My stomach dropped. Now, it's 3 a.m. I'm sitting in my car outside his apartment, engine off. My makeup's gone, my ring's in the glove box. I just need proof? Closure? Revenge? The 3rd-floor window glows, his window. Shadows move behind the blinds. 2 figures. I don't knock, I don't scream. I take a photo. But then his door opens. Light spills into the hallway and... TLDR. Found fiancé's affair days before our wedding. Now I'm parked outside his apartment at 3 a.m., watching another woman walk out.